Now, did everyone see the formula, quadratic formula, on your reference sheet? Can you find it?
Yes.
It should be under the midpoint formula. All right, look for the midpoint on where slope is. Now, it looks complicated, but the good news is you don't have to memorize it. Okay? It's on your paper. So, now, before you look at quadratic formula, you had some of these on the test, right?
Yes.
What's that? Oh, yeah. All right, now, these are called quadratic formulas. I kind of mentioned about it before. Anytime you have equations where the highest exponent is 2, right, then these are called quadratic equations. And how you solve this is different from how you solve a linear equation like 2x plus 4 equals 10. All right? Like I said, so linear and quadratic, how you solve this is different from how you solve this. What is the method I taught you how to solve this? Right here? It was 3 steps. Well, first of all, step 1 was to do what? Make it equal to 0. That was step 1. So you want to bring this over here, bring it over the equal sign, and it becomes what? When you bring a term over the equal sign, what happens? You change the sign. It don't become negative, you change the sign. So you get negative 8 equals 0. Put away that book, Marquisha. So now,
I'm listening.
put it away and get out your notebook.
I don't have a notebook.
Put that book away. Alright, so then step 2 is to do what?
Okay, what are we doing?
We're trying to solve this equation here.
Is it double step?
The way we know it,
Double step. We're supposed to factor it, and we're going to do double step.
it's all everyday.
Alright, guys, go ahead. So, now, once you factor it using the double step method, right? What are the factors? Right here, right? Across. So we have 3x plus 8 equals 0, or x minus 1 equals 0. Now, please, can everyone solve this mentally in your head? Bring the 8 over, it becomes what?
Negative
8.
over 3.
Then divide by 3.
Negative 8 over 3.
We should be able to start doing these things mentally now. When you start taking the SAT and the ACT, you have to work very fast. Alright, so bring it over, you get negative 8. You divide by 3, you get this. Alright, and bring over the negative 1, it becomes positive 1, so x equals 1. So those are the two answers. So the answer would be what here? Notice how all the answers were close. All of them had 1, 8 over 3, right? It's just a matter of one was being negative, right? But all answers were close right here. So what matched up here?
C.
C. Oh boy, now you guys don't think. The answer is always C. Alright, so, give me the, alright, now, what is the quadratic equation? It looks very ugly. Something like here, alright? So, it will be necessary, like I said, for some problems. Alright, so you have to know how to do it. So anyway, what was the problem? 3x squared
Plus 5x.
plus 5x
Minus
equals
8.
Alright, that was the original problem.
Can we just skip to the problem?
Now, focus. Here is the formula, right here. This is the formula right here. This. Wait, yes, we're using the quadratic formula now to get the same two answers we did with factoring. Alright? Now, and then it tells you A, B, and C are the coefficients of the equation, and here's the equation. Now, equals what? 0. Is this equal to 0?
No.
So, whatever you do, before you start plugging in numbers, make sure this is always equal to 0. So we still need to set this equal to 0. We still need to do that, even if we're using the quadratic equation. Alright? So you bring it over, And then now you identify your A. Notice here, your formula is all about BAC. It's all about these three things here. So they tell you how to label the equation. They tell you right here. The first number will always be what? A. The number in front of x squared will always be A. So A equals 3. The number in front of your x will always be B. A, B, C. So B is what? 5. And your C is what? 8 or negative 8? Negative 8. Keep the sign. So your C is negative 8. Good? Now, we have three numbers here to plug into this equation, into this formula, right? So, good. I'm glad you guys are focusing right here. That's very good. That's the key thing to learning. Focus. So, we have x equals, now, negative b. I'll explain this thing in a minute. Just keep with me. Negative b is not hard. What's negative b? If b is positive, and you put a negative in front, it becomes what? Negative 5. So b was positive 5. You put it in here, you get negative 5. Now this means plus or minus. Remember our answers, we should have what? 2, right? So this is going to split up in the end into two different answers. Okay?
So pretty much, you're gonna be doing both of them. You're gonna be doing both.
Just stay with me. Let's just plug in this here. I'll explain when I get to that step. All right, what's b squared? When you square 5, you get what? 25. Let's just put it at 25. Now, let's put the rest of this like this. Minus 4, it's always minus 4 AC. That means you're times it. You multiply. So let's put it in parentheses. What's A?
3.
A is 3, and C is negative 8. All over 2 times A. What's 2 times what A? 3. All right. All we gotta do now is just simplify this.
Oh.
That's all we gotta do. Just simplify. What's the hardest part of the formula right here? Right here. Right here. So now let's focus on working out all this junk right here and getting one number.
Okay, wait.
Okay.
Explain what's inside there.
Negative 4 times A, which is what? 3 times C, which is what? That's all I did. I replaced A and C with these numbers.
And then why you make the 5 negative?
This?
Yeah.
Because it's negative B, and my B was already positive. So I just changed the sign.
So if your B was negative, it would have
It would
been...
become positive. Exactly. All right?
Wait. And then why do you have the plus and the minus?
Because that's part of the formula. You'll see in a minute at the end what we're going to do with that.
Okay, so if B was negative, it'd be positive?
Yes. If B was negative
So
here,
basically
you
just change
put
the sign.
negative, yeah, the sign changes all the time in the front. This sign always changes for you. All right? Good? Now, that's very crucial for the final answer. Very crucial. All right? So now, I'll explain this part in a minute. Now, multiply these three numbers. Negative 4 times 3 times negative 8. What do you get?
Negative 4 times 3 times negative 8.
Yes, negative 4 times 3 times negative 8. Do you get a positive?
Yes.
Yeah, negative times a negative is a positive. So let's get that right. We're going to have 25 plus, what does that give you? 96. So we're going to have 25 plus 96 here. 2 times 3 is 6. Now, it's a lot, it's the first time, but once you start doing it, you breeze right through it. Don't worry, okay?
So look at the match.
Sounds like a lot.
Yes, Mikhail?
Wait, how you
This
got...
is the first time we're doing this one. All right? No, you just have to use factoring.
Alright,
You
keep
just have
on
to use factoring. Okay? Everything out there can be done with factoring. Everything. All right? So, don't be blaming like I didn't teach you. So here, what's 25 plus 96?
100.
121. Is that a perfect square?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, good. Now, here's where I'm going to, so this becomes what now? 11.
What becomes 11?
What's the square root of 121? Just plain 11. Over 6, yeah. I'm getting there.
Will it always be a perfect negative
The reason why it looks long is because I could have probably skipped some steps right here. I could have probably gone from here to here, all right? So I'm just showing you every step for your notes. All right, now, this is the answer not simplified.
Oh.
Not simplified, all right? Sometimes they leave the answer like this on the test. Sometimes they break it down. So you have to look in the multiple choice and see, you know, what
if they have both?
They will have both. This means, this is two answers. This implies two answers, this plus minus. Now, if they don't have it like that, they will break it down into two different answers. Negative 5 plus 11 divided by 6, or x is equal to negative 5 minus 11 over 6. And that gives you the two answers that we got from the previous time. Let's do the math. I did 1, this, you see this plus minus? I did negative 5, I didn't change this, plus 11. What's the one? Where's
That's
the?
an equal sign.
That's an equal sign. The pen is running sometimes. So
But it's in your hand.
alright, so then the other one is negative 5 minus 11. Negative 5 minus 11, right here, divided by. They're gonna work this out. They're not gonna leave it like that.
How
I'm
can you
pretty
work it
sure.
out?
Because
What's negative 11? What's negative 5 plus 11?
And then 6
Six.
over 6 is 0.
6, no, 6 over 6 is 1.
Not even another 6, please.
6 over 6 is 1, right? Or,
Okay.
what's negative 5 minus 11?
Negative 6.
No,
it's not.
please use the calculator.
Negative 16.
Negative 16, thank you,
Trying to
Joy.
laugh at me. And then
Over
you
there.
wrong.
Okay, good. And that reduces to what?
2.11.
No, divide by 2.
3.
Negative 8 over 3, which is the same two answers what we got by using factoring.
Okay, I like that.
In more
I
than
know, but I like factoring too, but they will give you a question where you can't factor it, so then you have to use
This
it.
one is, now please have bar print.
Yes,
Now please bar print.
I don't have one. I really don't. I really don't.
Really, why you put a calculator?
Okay, let's go. All right, let's apply the formula here. So the formula is this, right? Formula is that. So what is the first step? What's always the first step?
Make it equal to 0.
Identify your
Here,
prime.
make it sure it's equal to 0. Make sure it's equal to 0. So you have to bring this over. All right, you have to bring this over, so we get 3n squared minus 5n, and that becomes what? Plus 1 equals 0. You got to do that. Johnny, turn around, please, and stop the talking. Okay, so now, what is your A in this problem? Your A, positive 3. That's a positive 3. Why would it be negative 3?
Because you're looking at the quadratic form.
B is equal to what? Negative 5, and your C is equal to 1. Alright, now, you just go ahead and plug in those three numbers into this formula right here, which is on your reference sheet. Don't need to memorize. So, we did say, so it's x equals, now, negative b is the formula, so if this is negative, it becomes what? Positive. Alright, becomes positive, so we have 5 plus or minus the square root. Now, b squared, when you square negative 5, what do you get? You get 25. So if you want, you can write it in like that, but I just normally just work out that and put it in.
So can you just work it out?
And then someone's going to ask me, where did you get the 25 from? Okay, so
That's how you do
25, all right, minus 4 times A times C. So I suggest you use parentheses right here. What's your A? 3. and your C is 1 over 2 times A, which is 3. Good?
I have a question.
Now, go ahead.
Like, who like thought of this?
All right, stop. So then we have
We
25. Look, could you stop? All right, you did get it. All right, but I wanted to show you you did it the hard way. All right, I wanted to show you that. All right, so we have 5 plus or minus. Now, be quiet. Negative 4 times 3 times 1. What does that give you?
Wow.
Positive or negative?
12.
So we have minus 12. 25 times 12 gives you what?
25 minus.
Mix.
Yeah.
25 minus 12 gives you 13. 2 times that is 6. Now, some of you at this point said, okay, this wasn't a perfect square. You get a decimal, and then you put it in, and you got what? 3 point something? Look, guys. If you do that and then you start rounding your answer here, in the problem right here, your answer is going to be off at the end. Good? So don't do that. That's what I was trying to explain to you. But no, you guys insisted I wanted to do it. So this is what you do. You're going to put everything in your calculator. One is going to be like this. Yes, I'm going to show you. One is going to be like, I'll show you how to put it in your calculator. So you don't have to do all of that stuff. So everyone, I think I had one up here. Put in 5 plus. Put in 5 plus 13 square roots. But make sure you press equal after that. Make sure you press equal.
13.
You get 8.6 something?
Yeah.
That's the top.
8.6
Divided by 6.
You get 1.43.
Around that, right?
So, you see what I'm saying? There was no need to do it right here and then stop, right? So, you get 8 point something divided by 6 was what? 1 point what? 43, what was it here? 4. Alright, now, some of you, when you did it here, you ended up getting a 5 right here, maybe, I don't know, right? And then you round it up. But, it said round to the nearest 100, so you're looking at this. So, since this is 4, the x is going to be approximately 1.43. You do not.
That is just beautiful, right?
Yeah, they probably have the approximation sign. All right.
Wait, it looks like a squiggly equal sign.
Yes, ma'am. All right. 5. Ready? 5 plus 13 square root, but then press equal to what to get the answer. What was it? What you got? 8 point divided by 6. And you get that. You have to press equal.
I'm a better.
You have to press equal.
13 square.
You sure?
divided by six
No.
gives you
Practice fractioning.
Hey, it works.
I got 0.46.
5. Mine.
That is
Oh, no. Once you get to the
Yeah, you don't have to put it.
so it'll add time on it. Yeah, you don't have to.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. All right. So,
When I
some
go
calculators you actually have to press equal.
You still recording this?
All right. Now, do the other one. 5 minus the square
You
root
get
of 13.
0.332.
So you get 0. Point what? 2, 3 what?
2.
2, 3, 2. All right. So now, how do you round to the nearest 100?
You round
0
down.
point. Last 10 minutes, no one goes anywhere. All right.
Can we do
Really?
another one?
This one's getting real strict. No, this one's getting real strict with things. This one's getting real strict with things. All right.